Hello and welcome to another episode of Moose's Gear Goo Review. I'm Moose, and today I'm trying out live streaming for the first time. So I got my setup all rigged up here. It's a little nerve-wracking, just because going live, you have no way to edit any mistakes or anything. So, but at the same time, it keeps it really real, and I think that's pretty cool. So hopefully the audio is coming through fine and the video is coming through fine. I'm just recording off the webcam off my laptop, and yeah. So today I just want to say thank you to everyone who gives me their time and their support, and thank you for possibly joining in and checking this video out. Hopefully, if you like it, leave feedback and comments and whatnot, and I'd be interested in doing these again. This is kind of a test one, but either way, I know that it gets recorded and I'll be a part of my lineup of videos. So the one thing I want to talk about today specifically is why did I start this channel, and what's the purpose of it, and why do I love gear so much. So I'm trying to keep this relatively short, maybe 15 minutes, but basically I started this channel because I like outdoor gear. I've been a Boy Scout when I was younger. I loved going hiking. I love the wilderness. I live in Minnesota. I think in a Backpacker Magazine article, they actually said like per person, there's more park and wilderness areas per person within the metro area itself, within the city, to give people that space for outside. And that's something that I really appreciate and don't want to take for granted. Besides just getting outside, I live in the burbs on the cusp of rural and the urban. And with that, I'm go down to the cities a lot too. So I find it interesting how my gear set changes between the two. So with that said, the other reason why I got into YouTube was because I'm a very visual learner. And I remember being at a store, looking at a product, and I wanted to see a video, see someone actually handling the product and giving feedback as far as like how it feels and what they would use it for or whatever. And the product that I was interested in, I don't remember what it was anymore, but there was no reviews for it. And so I was like, oh, well, that's a shame. Well, maybe I should just buy it and do a review myself because, it's kind of paying it forward. If people are reviewing videos or tools or gear, devices, whatever, if they're doing that and sharing that knowledge with us or telling people, the pros and the cons of a product, maybe I could do that too. And since when I was younger in high school, my buddies and I would make movies and stuff. So I figured I have some background in film, even though it's really rusty. But I figured I can do that. So specifically, I started with knives. I got into watching knives through like Nut and Fancy and Gideon's Tactical and the Late Boy Scout and Prepared Mind 101. And I realized, being a scout and having the jobs that I've had, I've always needed a knife, but then I didn't realize that there was so much more to knives other than just a blade. So that got me into knives. And the first knife I think that really got me into it was the Spyderco Manix 2 in blue, the lightweight translucent blue or whatever. But I ended up trading that and I ended up getting the Byrd Raven 2, and that's my first video. So I like knives, I like gear, I like EDC gear, I like backpacking, and then I like to travel. Well, I like traveling, I like getting out. And so my channel is oriented to all that, which seems like a lot, but it's what I like, and it's what I hope to share my knowledge with as well. So that being said, let's talk about the first thing as far as like knives. Why do I like knives? So real quick, knives. I have a lot, but I also don't have a lot. So I'm not really a collector as much as I'm a user, and I'm trying to find that perfect knife that works for me. I like a variety of knives, but if you've ever seen Blade HQ and Ben, This is Ben Blue, surprisingly. Um, he has very specific criteria for the knives he likes. I'd say mine's pretty similar in as far as like blade length. Um, when I travel and when I just go hiking and I go out and about, I realize that size matters and that I really don't need a huge knife. Um, and the things I like the most are actually much more smaller. I'm actually going to use a smaller knife more than I would a bigger knife. So this is the Spyderco Little Native, which it's a great knife. I love the size, very compact. It's hard to find an excuse not to carry something this size with you, whereas I feel a bigger knife is more cumbersome, and it's hard to justify that for me personally, especially since I go into the city. There's just no need for a full size Griptilian. This is a great knife if you're doing really good work or you're just going out hiking or whatever. But it's just too big for me. So that's why when it comes to my preferences, I prefer a knife 3 inches or under. And with that Little Native, deep carry pocket clip, holds it in the pocket a little bit better, and the materials are just rock solid. So I really enjoy those smaller knives. The other reason why I realized knives were so valuable is because growing up, I watched History Channel stuff, and you learn about some of the first tools our ancestors ever made, and they were like stone axes or knives. And with that, I figured, this is one of the most important tools, human life has ever come up with. And it's a tool that still is used today in a multitude of different arenas. From cooking to crafting to just opening up boxes, cutting edge, a blade is just awesome. And the cool thing too, I'm really excited because Condor Knives actually made a replica knife of the Itzy knife. And if you don't know who that is, he is like a primitive man that ended up being frozen to death or something in a glacier, and they found his kit and they found his primitive knife and they made a replica of it. And so I'm actually interested in getting that one. But knives I just find fascinating. I do a lot of knife videos, not necessarily because I want to, but I do, but they're also a lot easier to do because it's just small. You can do it right in a small space. Whereas like reviewing tents and backpacks and other hiking equipment take a little bit more, and it really needs me to get out. But besides getting out and carrying that specific item that's usually designed for travel, I have to also carry the camera equipment. So, but that being said, moving on from knives, and once again, big knives are awesome and they have their purpose, but for me, they just don't work. So feel free to comment down, like, what's your perfect size knife as far as blade length? And in what capacity are you able to carry a bigger knife versus a smaller knife? Be interested to learn. The other thing is, hey, what's up, Chris? The other thing is gear, besides just like EDC gear, like what wallet do you carry, what pen do you carry? I feel like some people are going bonkers with that stuff, and I find it interesting just watching the channel and how the community grows. There's like a knife community, there's an EDC community, and a lot of those overlap. And the EDC community, EDC stuff, I feel like a lot of times they use things as almost like a status symbol, whatever, trinket. People are carrying coins and whatnot, and I just find it fascinating. So it's really interesting, and there's some really cool stuff. And then when people make it personal and actually customize things, it's really cool. So there's some really great channels out there for that. Personally, I can't necessarily afford that really cool stuff, and I don't necessarily have the skill to customize things as well as I'd like. But man, do I appreciate some of those cool looking things, and it's really impressive. But I stick to more manufactured goods. The other thing I want to do more on, and I wish I would have focused on this, and I have videos I just need to edit on, I promise people, is camping gear. Besides just getting into EDC gear, I like to go backpacking and camping, and a lot of times it's a skill set that some people, either you learn growing up with people, like your parents teach you, and you learn from their mistakes, or it's something that you kind of have to learn along the way. And if you're jumping into it for the first time, it can be like a little bit overwhelming and really nerve-wracking to just go out there for your first time in camp. So by me being able to recommend gear that will be a good investment and it won't break your bank, and it's something that you can rely on and count on, and it will make your trip better. I mean, that's what I want to share with you, because I've been in those miserable campsites where I'm shivering to death and I'm thinking, am I going to wake up alive or am I going to turn into a popsicle tonight? But I mean, just cool gear like this. I got this tent. Somehow it's a tent. I'm a big dude. I don't know if I'll fit, but it's something I want to check out because it's awesome. You know, I want to recommend good sleeping pads from Thermarest and other places that, you know, and I think the cool thing with Amazon specifically, as far as a resource, it allows us to, and other manufacturers, allows manufacturers to actually create equal products to some of the top of the line products, but then gives you a budget option and price. But sometimes it can't. But you know, an indoor tent review, we'll see if that works. So yeah, other things than that, I want to get into packs. I want to get into everything, because you got to have something to carry the gear, and that's something you want to always be able to maintain and carry your gear with you. So next up is, that's kind of the gear side. Besides too, I have gear for traveling. I travel at least once a month, it seems lately, which might not seem like a lot to some people, but it's more than enough for me. And I've come up with I found some interesting tips and tricks with that, and I want to do some more videos on that. Oh, what's up? Looks epic. Thanks, Weston. The other thing is goo. Goo. I love food. And with the Karen box, when I was getting it, they gave me a bunch of different treats. And so, you know, for the longest time when I was younger, there was only, what's up, Rodney? There was only Power Bars. If you're growing up in the 90s, the first like trail energy food bar besides like a Nature Valley granola bar was Power Bars. And they were the first ones to like compact all this weird food in. And it tasted pretty much like mud. And I still think they taste like mud. But too, I figured why not recommend different camp foods that I can try out and test. And so I'm excited to do that as well. And I found, you know, that a lot of the foods are similar, but some of them taste really good. And I want you guys to be able to get a good snack when you're on the trail. So that's why I do the goo. So Moose's gear goo review. So that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me any questions about my channel. I'm hoping to hit 1,000 subs here in the next 6 months. It sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. But I want to be able to keep bringing you guys content. And if you have any video ideas, always feel free to comment below, like what I should try out. I'll do my best. Other than that, it's fall here in Minnesota. I hope to do some hiking in the fall, though it's a little sketchy when you're going out during deer hunting season. I don't know if you've ever tried hiking when it's rifle season. You just hear gunshots and you're kind of like, do they know I'm out here? So it's weird. What's on the horizon for the channel? That's a good question. Well, I do have, if you saw a couple weeks ago, I did do my 70-mile Superior backpacking trip, and I only edited 2 of the vlogs. I have a 3rd vlog coming up. So it'll be day 3. I know that I say in the video it's day 2, but the first day of my Superior Hiking Trail vlog and the trip itself, it was only a half day. And so I start off by saying in the 2nd video, I believe, that this is my first full day. And so then the 3rd video, I'll be like, this is day 2, but it's my 2nd full day on the trail. But it was really overwhelming in that video, and I don't want to give you any spoilers, but you can see there's a point in there where I'm talking to the camera and I'm recognizing my injury for like the first time as being a true injury. And somehow I like compare myself to a baby giraffe. I don't know. You'll have to check it out when it comes out. Um, a fall related special. Yeah, maybe I should do like what knife works best with pumpkin spice. Is that something? Should I try that? Should I just like what knife is the best for carving pumpkins? I don't know. Would that work? Give me a thumbs up if that's something good. Um, what else we got? Got rained out this morning. Fixed to head back to the woods. Oh, bummer. Where are you hiking, Rodney? Yeah, it's been really cold and rainy here in Minnesota as well. I think it was just snowing and now the sun is out. So that's just kind of how Minnesota happens. I don't know where you're rocking and hiking, Rodney. So yeah, other than that, maybe I'll try to do a gift special, like some recommended gifts for the outdoors person or the backpacker, like I did last year. Two, I want to invest in a new camera. I like my camera, but it's really hard filming yourself without a flip out LCD screen or a monitor. And so I'm hoping to save up and invest in the Canon M50 camera. Right now, I'm using the Canon M, which is a cool, really small, compact camera, which works really good for like backpacking and just bringing it out on the trail and day hikes. But it doesn't have the flip out screen. So if I'm trying to set up a shot, I actually have to film myself and then walk back around and watch the video to see if everything was in frame and then remember where I was. So it's a bit of a hassle. But the cool thing is that because it's part of the M series, the lenses already work on the M50. So I'm hoping to see some really good sales as far as that goes, and hoping to get that camera, and hopefully that'll boost up. Oh, North Carolina getting rained out. Well, that's no good. Yeah, I suppose you guys got some like crazy hurricane weather down there at times. Never really been down to North Carolina. Got to put that on the list. Best throwing knives for autumn. No. No, I'm not gonna. I don't do the throwing knife thing. If you do want to see a throwing knife guy, there's Mayor Fugly Cool. He's a YouTuber. He does a lot of gun reviews, but when he does a knife review, he throws the knife every time, as well as what's that guy? Not Living Survival. Survival on Purpose, I believe. He's an older guy. He's a scoutmaster, and he tests his knives by throwing them into a tree. That's a good point, though. Like, if the thing that kind of separates me with my knife testing is I test them with a glove, the ugly brown glove. And hopefully people find that valuable. I know a lot of people have to work with different gloves, and I think part of the reason why I started reviewing them with a glove is because I was at work and I was working in the freezer and I had gloves on, and I was struggling to open the knife I was carrying at the time. And I thought, that was like a light bulb moment. Bing! Like, oh yeah, maybe I should just test each knife with a glove to see how that would work out. And it's been a fixture ever since. Though my ugly brown glove has seen better days, and I might have to retire it because like the thumb is wearing out from getting caught on all the jimping and whatnot. So I don't know. I might have to get an ugly blue glove or something different. So if there's a color preference, please comment down below what color you think glove I should step up to next, if there's something like that available. What else do we got? Best perhaps tomahawk reviews. I do have an axe. I do have a Gransford Brooks axe. I forgot how they say it. But I got that when I was into bushcrafting, and that's another thing I do want to kind of show you my trials and tribulations with bushcrafting if I ever get time to get outside. This was meant to be kind of like my bushcrafting pack. I'm a huge fan of Ray Mears and other survival guys, and that's part of the reason why my fixed blade knives, I don't go with the big old survival knife guys. There's that one YouTuber who there's a couple people that just love big knives, and they find that that's the definition of a survival knife. And to some people, yeah, it is, but to other people, if you watch like actual survival experts, they are like Cody Lundeen and Matt Graham and stuff. Like, they can do a lot with just a rock. And Cody Lundin, he just uses like a simple Mora 1. It's not huge, it's not big, and it's more than enough. So that's why when it comes to my survival preference knives, this is my favorite. This is the BK16. I have yet to do a review of this, but yet this is one of my longest owned and beloved knives. And to me, this is like the perfect size for bushcraft or survival. Another comparable knife I still need to review as well is the Mora Garberg, which everyone really loves. This thing just feels rock solid and beastly. So definitely got to get out. Probably after deer season when it's a little bit colder, maybe I'll be able to get out and try to do some stuff because I do got some funky skills. Urban bushcrafting, that is an idea. What? I don't know how I'm gonna make that happen, but sure, I'll give it a shot. Oh, what's up, Chicano? What's up, Sergio? Let's see. Yeah, so I don't know, guys. I'm way past my 15-minute mark, so maybe we'll finish it up in the next minute. Any last questions or comments? Please like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate your guys' support. And let me know, should I keep doing live streams like maybe once every other week, once a month? Is this something interesting? I do like interacting with your comments on the side there. That's pretty cool. So it's cool to be able to interact like in real time. So a segment called "These Are the Knives of Our Lives." Chris, you're full of ideas. You just make a list with bullet points of ideas. Yes, keep them coming. All right. Well, this seems like a good experience so far. I'm excited to maybe do this again. And thank you guys so much. Remember, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out any of the other videos. If you have any comments or recommendations, leave them down below. And I'll love to try to deliver what you guys want. So thank you guys, and I'll see you outside.